Well friends, so today I did go out for a test ride of the Guerrilla 450, and I don't know why they call it the 450 while the Himalayan having the same engine is called the 452, no idea. Nonetheless, that's a controversy you can settle in the comment section below, but it was a nice experience. So it was a very short ride actually, not a very long ride, so I haven't tested the highway manners which I'd done on my Himalayan. I don't think it will be quite different with the Guerrilla 450. And of course, if you love the content that I create around these two-wheel wonders and would like to know about the places I visit, do hit the subscribe button, and do not forget to give it a thumbs up, because that's going to be huge motivation for me to create more stuff like this. Do give it a listen, because at the end of the video you'll get a chance to understand that whether this kind of a roadster makes sense with all the options we have right now, and what are the other options you could explore. Some of the strengths and weaknesses highlighted in my video, but end of the day it's your buying decision and your hard-earned money which you have to put down on the table to experience some of these beautiful machines. None of them are bad, but finally it's your decision and you have to take a call. It has a very traditional and simplistic front profile, doesn't it? Let me know in the comment section what you think of the front profile. So friends, I'm here today to test ride the Guerrilla 452 or 450 as it is called. Actually it's 452 I think. So you can see, lovely, this is the blue colored machine, blue colored rims, etc. Quite accessible seat height, unlike the Himalayan, but rest all exhaust, everything is similar to the Himalayan. And as you see, the instrument cluster, lovely, the same TFT screen of the Himalayan. This is the top end model I guess, does a complete swipe, and beautiful. I think it is the connected one also, and looks very unintimidating, unlike the Himalayan which looks very top heavy and big. Well, let's go for the test ride. That's Jagadamba Automobiles. You have a host of Hunters. I think Hunter is the hottest selling one right now, because I can see a lot of Hunters over here. Obviously and that's my Scrambler. So my experience is going to be from the point of view of having ridden the Scrambler and the GS. I know they are not from the same category of motorcycles, but still, yeah. So that's the Himalayan, looks much bigger than the Guerrilla. So that's a golden red color, and that's the black red with yellow accents. Let's see, check it out. How does it feel? But from the look of it, but I kind of get intimidated by the length of this vehicle. It is so long, man. Shit, it's pretty long, unlike my Scrambler which is not so long I think. So it's meant to be a roadster, so sometimes the length has a benefit. I hope you can see the TFT screen nicely lit up, comes alive. Oh, let's see, it is heavy, it is not light. Being an RE, it cannot be light, but smoothly taking out of the parking lot was not a problem, unlike the Himalayan which really feels really top heavy and difficult to maneuver. Let's check it out how this thing starts up. So not a particularly clean vehicle considering it is the test ride vehicle, but as you can see it's got quite a long footprint and should be easy to handle owing to the low seat height. And although it's heavy, not light, at 185 odd kilos, almost the same as my Scrambler, but you can see the rear section tire, they're really thick ones, 160 section tires, which you normally get in super bikes. But I love that sleek exhaust, I have told, in the case of Himalayan also, and the same monoshock, you know. And let's see how it rides. I have seen a couple of videos on YouTube already that it's got the same engine as the Himalayan, so it should be having the same amount of grunt and same amount of nice top end that the Himalayan has, very Royal Enfield like. So let's boot this thing up. Yes, it's booted up, and let's see how it growls. So the same rotary knobs, as you can see, which Royal Enfield started with, the Meteor 350 actually, which is a vehicle I used to own. Nice touch of gives you a kind of a retro feel, not bad. Let's hear the horn. Same, not bad, similar to my Scrambler, no difference. Only thing is, I can, as you can see, I can have both my feet on my ground, very unscrambler like. And so yes, powered up, ready to go. First gear, yes. Let's see what's the kind of grunt. Well, it's not the kind of jerky, the kind of instant torque that you feel with the Scrambler is not there, is what I can say. Having started the bike on the first gear, it is not there. It will be significantly linear, and considering the fact they've added 2 more teeth on the rear sprocket, is going to be even less gruntier than the Himalayan, which is something I was a little bit apprehensive about, and I think my apprehensions are proving to be true right now, because I can see that you don't have the instant torque that you can feel with the Scrambler. It's missing here. Not a bad thing if long distance travel is on your mind, but the feet somehow appear to be a little cramped. I don't know, maybe I'm used to riding the Scrambler, so it looks like my feet are set parallel to each other. The tank seems narrow, not as wide as the Himalayan. Of course, it's got an imposing tank, 17 liter tank. This has got 11 liter tank. So the tank capacity is the same as my GS, but the tank doesn't appear so big as the GS. So GS tank size was kind of misleading, because the kind of capacity it had was not proportionate to the size of the tank. Here, of course, the tank appears small, and it is small. 11 liters is not good enough for long distance traveling, but it's good for city rides. I don't know, it feels kind of very small. Maybe I am used to riding ADVs and Scramblers, which are tall in height. That is the reason. For someone coming from a hunter or someone coming from a road bike or street bike won't feel that. But there is nice grunt. I love this Sherpa engine. I think Ari knows how to make engines, no doubt about it. There is a nice grunt, 46 km per hour, 4000 RPM. So let me see the tractability of this bike. So we go down on the RPMs. Okay, the mirrors, they keep on shifting and twisting. I don't know, I don't like the mirrors. Looks a little flimsy, not good quality stuff. Maybe you can fit some aftermarket ones. So I am currently at 2000 RPM. I am in the second gear. Let me go to the third gear. No, I can't go to the first gear. Okay, fine, 2000 RPM. Let me go to second gear. It's stuttering. So 2000 RPM, second gear, 19 km per hour. Yeah, I cannot go to, let's go to the third gear. Obviously not, it's going to stall. Third gear, 2000 RPM, it's jerky, very unlike my Scrambler. And does it pick up pace? Second gear, it picks up pace. Third gear under 2000 RPM, does it pick up pace? Let me see. 2000 RPM, third gear. Oh no, it's going to stall. I can't be in the third gear under 2000 RPM, not allowed. So conclusion, if you want low-end tractability, you are better off with the Speed or the Scrambler. Better off with the Scrambler, probably a tad less with the Speed 400. because the direct rival of this vehicle, I believe, will be the speed, basically, because both are roadsters. Powering up, here we go. Second gear, can I move from second gear? Yes, but not as easy as the Scram, but okay. You can start even from second gear, you don't need to downshift to the first from a standstill. But that's all, I think. But when you cover a bump and all, second gear is what you have to do. You cannot do it on third gear. This is something you can manage on the Scram. Second gear, 29 km per hour, 36. What's the top speed you can do? 5000 RPM, 50, 57. Oh, it's got quite a tall gearing. 60 km per hour plus on the second gear is not something you can do on the Scram. But as you pick up pace, it feels nice. The engine has that locomotive kind of feel, and sounds good also, not bad, much better than my GS. That's the complaint I had on my GS, the sound, the way it sounded. So in the third gear, 3000 RPM, lovely, we can pick up speed beautifully. But somehow the area near the instrument cluster looks very plain Jane. You know what I mean? So I ride the Scrambler on a regular basis, and it does not have a TFT screen, it has an LCD screen, but somehow there's a design element to it, the instrument cluster area. This kind of, the wires are sticking out, as you can see, which you don't see on the Scrambler. There are wires all around. And this is what, and the forks also have the exposed gaiters, fork gaiters, and oh, lovely. But the torque is very nice from above 3000 RPM, etc. If you are, provided you are in the lower gears, you have to downshift. The torque is very nice, linear. Good thing is that for shorter riders, but my legs feel a little cramped, I can tell you. It's nice for shorter riders, but I am 5'8". I think if you are around 5'6" or less, this will be a nice bike to you, for you. So 5'6" or less, this will be manageable. The Himalayan will not exactly be manageable for you. Of course, there are people who will claim that I have skills enough to ride tall bikes. This is not for you. This is for the general janta who would kind of look at their first performance oriented bike. So this is not a ride for the highway. Today I'm going to ride this bike, especially in the city. I think it makes a perfect sense for a city bike, as long as you are ready to shift gears. So the problem is, today is a Sunday and the traffic situation is not that bad, and therefore it's fine. You will not get to test the limits of this motorcycle in chock-a-block traffic, because that's when the heat management, the gearing, etc. comes into picture. We have a decently empty road today, so this will not give a perfect picture of what is the bike capable of in the domain that is supposed to be its everyday terrain, city traffic, and probably occasional outside city runs. See, on 5th gear, 3000 RPM, it's kind of starting to stutter. So it has got a tall gearing. I don't know what was the thought behind making a bike with such a tall gearing, because when you have such a tall gearing, generally it is meant for the highway rides. And I think the Himalayan makes better highway sense, because the Himalayan doesn't have such a cramped feeling. Here the kind of, your legs are sticking up, your feet are too close together, and you don't have that relaxed posture of the Himalayan. Handlebar position is neutral, I must say. It is not bad, but that's it. I mean, you sit low down, and of course if this is meant for the highway, it should have had a more relaxed ergonomics. That is very important when you ride your bike for long hours. And if it's meant for the city, what is important is to have a low down tractability, which is there with the Scram 400. Because right now there is not much of traffic. When you encounter the usual traffic on Indian metros, but the suspension is a little hard, I can tell you, compared to my Scrambler. Of course, this is a shorter suspension, unlike the Himalayan. Once again, having such a short, so when I get down from the bumps, I can actually feel the head being transmitted to the back. Because of course it's not a long travel suspension like the Himalayan. The Himalayan will insulate you much more from the jolts on the bumps and potholes. This will not. So once again, not a good thing for a highway oriented bike, because on the highways you do not know what kind of terrain you are going to face at what time, considering the Indian road conditions. Maybe because RE is focusing a lot on the European markets right now. In fact, the launch of this vehicle was done in Barcelona, and therefore it might make sense for them, because you have near perfect roads over there. You don't have such sudden undulations and sudden potholes that crop up in the middle of nowhere, and therefore it might make sense over there in the perfect road conditions of Spain. But in the roads of Bangalore, at least where I live, this will need more than, now every undulation and every unevenness on the road can be felt on this bike. And if comfort is your priority, you are better off with the Himalayan, provided you can manage the weight and the height of the Himalayan. If you're comfortable with it, this is more of a smooth highway bike. It has got more of cruiser characteristic than a roadster characteristics, is what I would say. Cruisers are meant to be highway machines, and where the road is absolutely perfect, this has got a similar characteristics. Although they call it a roadster, I would give more of a, but of course it doesn't have the relaxed ergonomics of the cruiser. Now that's the confusing part of riding the Guerrilla 450, because I do not know exactly where to slot this. Do I slot it as a cruiser? No, it doesn't have the ergonomics, the relaxed ergonomics of a cruiser like the Meteor 350. Do I slot it as a roadster? No, it doesn't have the bottom and grunt of doing city duties on a regular basis. Also not the comfort of a comfortable suspension able to handle anything. So I am a bit confused after having tested in the Guerrilla 450. And if you ask me, I am 5'8". I have been experienced enough in riding motorcycle. Which is the motorcycle I would choose between the Guerrilla and the Himalayan? My verdict will be, I'll choose the Himalayan, not the Guerrilla. The handlebar turning radius is not good, so it's getting stuck. It's not got a decent turning radius, so you will kind of need a wider turning radius. Again, very long and sloping side stand, which is not particularly to my preference. That completes my ride of the Guerrilla 452.
And of course, if you love the content that I create around these two-wheel wonders and would like to know about the places I visit, do hit the subscribe button, and do not forget to give it a thumbs up, because that's going to be huge motivation for me to create more stuff like this, and you will also keep on receiving notifications regarding the new content that I create every week and bring forward to you.